Ciao! Burrata is a fresh cheese with a firm outer casing and a soft, buttery interior. It is filled with cream and mozzarella curd. The filling is called stracciatella. When you cut into it, the interior spills out to reveal a thick, spreadable center. Burrata is different than a fresh mozzarella ball in that the fresh mozzarella is firmer and can be cut into slices. You can use burrata in a variety of recipes, such as in a salad, on bread, on a cheeseboard, or even on pasta. Let's start with finely cutting fresh basil. Next, let's slice the tomatoes. The inspiration for this recipe is insalata caprese, and so we are making a caprese salad with burrata and heirloom tomatoes. This burrata salad can be served as an appetizer or even as a lunch. Drain the burrata from the liquid and add it to the center of the plate. If you have not tried this type of cheese before, you might be wondering, what is it? Well, it has a firm outer pouch and a buttery interior filled with cream and curd. The inside filling is called stracciatella. Now let's add a very simple Italian dressing. Let's add that fresh basil that we chopped earlier. And now for my favorite part of this recipe, cutting into the burrata. Look at that creamy center. Delicious. Let's grab some bread and dig in. Let's start with washing the tomatoes, then let's cut them in half and add them to a bowl. Now we're going to add extra virgin olive oil and sea salt. Next, let's wash and finely cut fresh basil and add it to that bowl. Give it a good mix and set it aside for later. Next, let's wash the fruit. I find that serving the grapes in small bunches and slicing the apricot makes it easier for guests to serve themselves. Now let's slice up the baguette in about 1/2 inch thick pieces. Now for the assembly of the burrata board. Let's start with the burrata cheese. Drain the burrata cheese from the liquid and add it to the top of the board. Leave some space underneath for later for when we cut into the burrata. Next, let's add the grapes and sliced apricots on either side of the burrata cheese. Now let's add the prosciutto on the middle bottom part of the board. Next, let's add that tomato salad we made earlier to the left bottom side of the board. Next, let's add roasted red peppers to the right bottom side of the board. You can make your own, or you can buy them already roasted in a jar. I like to drizzle some extra virgin olive oil on top and add a few fresh basil leaves. Let's add that bread we sliced earlier to the top of the board. And now for the best part, cutting into the burrata. Look at that creamy center, delicious. Let's grab a piece of bread and start eating. Buon appetito! Ciao! Today we're making pasta with burrata. To make the tomato sauce we will need fresh tomatoes, extra virgin olive oil, a clove of garlic, dried oregano, sea salt, and fresh basil. We're also going to need coarse sea salt for the pasta water, and the pasta type we are using today is rotini, and of course the burrata cheese. Let's start with prepping the garlic and the tomatoes. Peel the garlic, leave it whole, and set it aside for later. Next, we're going to wash the tomatoes and cut them in half. Next, let's fill up the pot with water and set it to maximum heat. While the pasta water is heating up, let's start on the sauce. Add extra virgin olive oil to the pan, and then the tomatoes that we had cut up earlier. Season with sea salt and the dried oregano. Turn the heat to medium and cover with a lid. Stir the sauce occasionally, and after about 5 minutes of cooking, turn the temperature down to minimum. Now that the water is boiling, add the salt. The salt will help to flavor the pasta. Cover again with a lid until it boils again, at which point we will add in the pasta. Once you add the pasta in the water, give it a good stir to prevent it from sticking together. And also stir it occasionally while it is cooking. Next, let's crush the garlic and add it to the sauce. If you prefer a less intense garlic flavor, you can add the clove whole and then remove it. We are cooking the pasta al dente, or to the tooth, meaning it still has a bite to it. Cooking it this way prevents the pasta from being mushy and overcooked. So we will be draining the pasta from the pasta water about 1 minute early and finishing the cooking in the pan with the pasta sauce. You can add some of the pasta water to the sauce if you find that it is too thick. Add the basil to the sauce at the end. You can use a slotted spoon or a colander to remove the pasta from the pot. Now let's transfer the pasta to a serving bowl and place the burrata on top. Now for the best part, cutting into the burrata. Look at that creamy center. Mix the pasta and burrata together and it's ready to serve. Buon appetito!